On this episode of the High Not to Laugh podcast, I, the father who is Gen X, am going to talk about 10 of the coolest 1980s toys that came free in Happy Meals.
And I'm trying to also do that while I'm high.
Welcome to the High Not to Laugh podcast. I'm your host, Craig, and to my right is my co-host and son, the Hamburglar to my grimace,
Jason.
There we go. Kept it on topic with the Hamburglar. Of course, by the time you were born, you didn't have the
Any
Donald
of
Land
those
characters. Like, you
like,
know,
the Grimace
of
just finally
Grimace,
came back
and,
for
they got rid
something,
of,
but nothing else
in, like,
was there.
What was it, 2010 or something? They got rid of Ronald?
For a while.
Like, he's been gone.
Oh, he's not back?
No.
So they brought the Grimace back, but not Ronald.
I don't know that I didn't know they brought him
Yeah,
back.
they did the Grimace Shake like a year and a half ago. And everybody pretended to
Was
die
it
online.
purple?
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. Well, anyway, I was born in 78, making me Gen X.
Old.
I grew up in and he was born in 01, making him Gen Z.
Also old.
No. And once a month on our podcast, we talk about we've got 4 topics now. We've decided officially what they are for the 4 weeks.
Yes.
1 week, we're going to review a Marvel movie because I'm a DC fan, and we're going to discuss it as a Marvel fan and a DC fan watching the MCU. Then we're going to do, what was it we did last week? The
Learning.
Yeah, Learning, which is our going back old school. We're going to call it High School, HIGH, which is the normal spelling, but like separated from school, like high school.
Hi.
No, not that. Like that, your eyes.
Oh, me.
Then we're going to do Gen X, teaching Gen X stuff to Gen Z. And then we're going to debate things in the 4th week, and we're going to call that Master Debaters. So next week, we're going to come in here and debate a topic. No preview, but we've actually already been discussing what we're going to
start with.
Basically argue about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's 10 of the coolest toys that came with your Happy Meal. And this is one of the first times it's something that still exists now. Like, there's cool cereals now, but like a lot of the ones I told you, they don't exist anymore.
Right. Now
and
it's all
certain
like
cartoons
bland,
and certain movies. These are things that they still do these. You can go get all these toys, or not these, but new toys. The first one is called Changeables. I would have put this last as my favorite one. These were little plastic food from them.
Yep.
Chicken nuggets, Big Macs, cheeseburgers. They had pancakes. They had shakes.
Yeah.
They had
it
more
looks like
than
it
just
transforms.
those. They were
They're
their
little
version of Transformers, but without breaking copyright. It was like, things that turn into robots. So they came up with these. And
I mean, that's
these
a cool
were
idea.
Actually really cool, yeah. Then Hot Wheels. Straight up, they had 14 Hot Wheels that were specifically limited edition just for, and they were the real ones.
Does it come in a McDonald's carrying box?
It came in your box that had your...
Oh, I thought it was like a little collecting box thing that you could get. Okay.
But
that'd be cool where they'd all fit in, but no.
But they were really cool just because, like, if you like Hot Wheels or Matchbox...
If you like toy cars, it's Hot Wheels or Matchbox.
Basically, you know how we were talking, go back another episode, but we were talking about there's a number 1 and a number 2. It always went Matchbox, then Hot Wheels, but I was
Hot
always
Wheels
cool
are good
with Hot
too.
Wheels.
It's like the Crayola of the car world and the toy car world.
No, because Crayola doesn't have any real competition as far as I'm concerned. So
right. I mean, there's Crazy Art.
Hot Wheels and Matchbox are good
Crazy
competition
Art
for each other.
Is the second in
but
place.
their crayons are garbage.
They are. That's my point.
But both Matchbox
Those
and Hot Wheels are
get to
good.
be in number 1. Those get to collectively be in number 1 because I think the Hot
Matchbox
Wheels are
and Hot
equal
Wheels?
to Matchbox.
Maybe we'll have that
But
discussion sometime.
I had some cars that would like just break and they weren't.
Oh yeah.
They weren't good at all. These were like high quality,
cool
like
thing
metal
from-
with like it was all attached to each other.
And the cool thing about some of these things from McDonald's, they would say, okay, well, the real thing does this. And obviously we can't make it do that and give it away free because it would cost too much.
Right.
But they would make these companies come up with as close as they could of a lot of these things. Like they had Tamagotchis and stuff, but I know.
Like the little
Uh-huh.
digital
Yeah. Like
pets
Yes.
that they gave away.
But they weren't. They were the same brand, but they were special things that only did certain. They
I don't
limited
care.
what
They're
it
giving
did.
a little digital like toy away.
Some of the things
That's expensive.
Wait till I'll come back. At some point, and we'll do '90s toys, and that's when that one showed up. But anyway, the McNugget Buddies. Okay, you might.
They
What? Go ahead.
They look like Mr. Potato Head.
That's what I was going to say. Another of their obvious ripoffs, the McNugget Buddies were nugget-shaped brown plastic that you could add different faces and hats and arms to, just like Mr. Potato Head. It was their way of doing a Mr. Potato Head without having to worry about the licensing deal and copyright and all that.
That's lame. Just do Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, but, okay, I have a question. Why was it cool when they did it with the transforming robots, but it not cool when they did this?
Because
it's
the
still
transforming
stealing
robots.
from Hasbro.
Yes, the transforming robots. All right. Transformers didn't do those things. All right. Mr. Potato Head and Mr. McNugget Head. All right. They look the same.
I mean, very similar, very
All right.
similar. But
I'm
they
not gonna
did make
get
them
a-
shaped like their
I'm not gonna
actual-
get a freaking what's the word? Transforming McNugget anywhere else. Transformers are never gonna do a cheeseburger. All right.
They did a lot of cool.
They did a lot of cool stuff, but they didn't do that.
They did a boom box that had a little cassette, like
And both of them would transform.
Right.
Yeah, they came
had
back
that
in
one.
some of the bad movies.
But anyway, all right. Fraggle Rock toys. Literally, a lot of them they would just put licensed characters in a vehicle of some kind. It'd be a little plastic vehicle because it's real easy to do, and then just a hard plastic, like upper half, sticking up from the driving area. And they
Weird.
did that with a lot of characters.
Okay.
So
Fraggle Rock's awesome.
It was such a big hit that they had to do a tie-in. That's
They had
all
to.
it was.
Of course they did.
Yeah. Muppets. Jim Henson in the 80s, like, he's popular still, and he's been passed on for many years.
Like a long time now?
Like the 90s.
Right.
Anyway, so the next one, pullback racers. They've done different versions of these. That's the Hamburglar.
Okay.
And you know those cars that literally you pull it back and
they go.
and it goes zing. They had the McDonald Land guys, but they've also come back and done that with other characters. They invented a guy that was like Late Night Mac or something like that, and he was like this moon for a head because it was like advertising their late night menu or back before everything was 24 hours. And they had like a set of like five different
okay.
the moon face guy. But that's separate.
So
from,
I'm completely okay with the idea of them being open 24 hours for people who have to work overnights.
But it's weird that they would have a
Why
toy
would they have
associated
toys
for children.
for
You know?
being up at 1 o'clock in the morning?
That's
That's
a good question that I don't
bad
know.
marketing on their part. Hey, children.
But kids saw the commercials and they
And
were
wanted
like,
the
we
toys.
want a toy of the Moonhead guy. It actually looked like if the moon was Jay Leno because it had a big old chin.
That's what I was picturing.
Yeah, right? That's weird, but yes. All right. Chippendale Rescue Rangers, another tie-in where they put them in vehicles.
Little flying vehicles
Yep. Have you watched Rescue Rangers? They have little flying vehicles.
that look like that.
No, they have
didn't
flying
think so.
vehicles that they all go in, but hey.
Or like a Power Rangers kind of deal where they're all sitting in the same vehicle.
Well, Power Rangers, everyone was in their own robot. So that's
No.
literally, and then they would come together and form a giant
A
robot.
super robot, right.
Well, these didn't come together.
They were
and
already the super robot?
There was no robot. It was just a vehicle. It's like people getting in the car.
Wait, what?
You're like, oh, is it like Voltron? What, getting in the car and driving downtown? No, it's really not like Voltron. because I know you said
I said Power Rangers.
Voltron
Is better.
Is
first.
When Power Rangers came out, I said, they're doing a live-action version poorly of Voltron. They're like, what if Voltron fought like Godzilla-esque bad guys? Because it was always the people in suits with the little cities.
You got to respect that they kept with the same special effects.
They still do them.
Yeah, the same ones, rubber suits.
All right. Let's see, Garfield.
I mean, that's a win.
And again, notice they're in vehicles.
They're on vehicles. He's riding so many different vehicles. It's a skateboard, which isn't technically a vehicle, but... Oh, excuse me.
But you would have thought they would have just done... If they're doing 4, they would do Garfield, Odie, Nermal, and John.
Yeah. Nermal would be the 4th one.
Why is that not what they did?
Well, because... If you're a kid and you're going
get the
through
John
and
one,
you get
you're going to
the
be
John
mad.
or the
But
Nermal, I could be happy with a Odie or a Garfield. But if I don't have all 4 and I only end up getting 2 of them, I'd be mad to get John and freaking
my Uncle Norman.
Nermal.
His nickname was Nermal. Because of the Garfield character.
Okay.
Because it was like, I'm so cute. And it annoyed Garfield, and the whole thing is you look at Garfield and he's annoyed by him, but he's just wrong because there's nothing that should, like, Garfield's just kind of a jerk about it.
Okay, I watched things that made it the other way around. Where
no, he's just like,
right.
I'm so cute, like, and it's like, yeah, but like a kitten's gonna walk around going, I'm so cute, just like babies are like, I'm cute, love me, you know.
I always thought of him as the Scrappy Doo.
I can see the similarity, but I wouldn't say that about my uncle. He's passed. He was
not him. No.
Sandra. It's her father.
Right. No, I was saying I could see Nermal as the Scrappy Doo because he's, violently obnoxious and I hate him.
If you're watching this and you're Gen X, he's pretty accurate with that. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, put it in the comments, but I actually agree. But let him know if you agree with him. The next one, Muppet Babies. This show can't stream anywhere, can't be on DVD, and it bothers me. They have like a new version that's like CG and stuff.
Yeah, it's ugly and it looks gross. And
the cartoon that this was from was cool as hell. They would do parodies of popular movies, and like other companies were giving them permission. It's like Fox was like, "Oh, you want to like take shots from Indiana Jones and then superimpose your baby Kermit over Indy?" Sure. And they did.
Who owned Indiana Jones?
Fox at the time. I believe.
Really?
You didn't know that?
It was always Universal.
No, because that's who Lucas worked with. That's who released Star Wars too.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he kept the ownership of that the same way he did with Star Wars. That's why he could sell Star Wars when Fox didn't get owned by Disney yet. Anyway, so yeah, it was an animated show. And basically any good show or movie had a tie-in at Burger King or McDonald's, or like there's some other ones that would have them, but these were the 2 biggest. I've got a list that we'll have to do sometime of Burger King toys too, because for a while they got exclusive rights to Disney. But we'll talk about that in another episode.
McDonald's did?
The next one is called Tinosaurs. They're tiny dinosaurs? Yep. They were not a cartoon. They were created specifically as a toy line for McDonald's. They had names, they had characteristics, they had so kids could collect these, and this was the only way to get them. And it was actually just kind of a cool thing.
No cartoon, no...
Nope. It was made strictly for McDonald's.
By who?
McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
Like they had them made. Like someone came up with the names for them. There were 8 different characters, and there were PVC figures about 2 inches tall.
Huh.
Yeah. And number 10, the McDonald's pencil box. It literally had a snap case, and it came with stickers, and there was like these weird etched pictures on the outside, but not etched in. It was like there were bumps that would stick up. Mm-hmm. So the stickers wouldn't stick. because the lines of the picture were poking out, keeping it from sticking. It was the weirdest combination of things, but it was something to put your pens, crayons, and pencils to go to elementary school. You'd put that in your bag and it clipped shut. It was actually kind of cool. Like, a lot of kids had those. And I put a bonus in because we're not going to talk about this topic in October. The bonus is the Halloween pumpkin buckets.
I've seen those.
Well, let me tell you what it says here. The McDonald's Boo Buckets, in 1986, in October, you would get one free as the container for your Happy Meal. If you got burger, fries, would be in it.
That looks smaller than a Happy Meal.
No. They used to have a big container. That one's big. The ones that they just released are like half the size. They were so sturdy, okay? And again, anyone watching this, you could back this up. They were so sturdy, you would see kids at the beach using them as pails.
Well, that's cool.
The handles would hook on and stayed on. They didn't break really easy. They weren't chintzy. And kids legitimately brought them to the beach on a regular basis. And they had 3 faces. One was the McPumpkin, there was the McBoo, and the McGoblin, and they were all orange.
Oh, okay.
They were different faces. And then when they re-released them recently, they did a green and a white, so there was a ghost and a witch. And that's the last one. So basically, what would you say, out of these, what ones would you think you would have enjoyed as a kid? Okay. The changeables.
I could see that being awesome.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Okay. McNugget Buddies. You didn't like the idea that it
I'll just get them. I'll get the Potato Head.
Yeah, but they wouldn't come free.
Sure, but neither does the toy. I have to buy a meal for that.
Fraggle Rock.
Yes, love Fraggle Rock.
Pullback Racers. Just any of them.
I mean, whatever. I like those cars. Those are not the
Chip 'n Dale Rescue
ones.
Rangers.
Chip 'n Dale's awesome.
Okay. Garfield.
Yeah.
Muppet Babies.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
Meh, I mean, whatever.
I thought it was cool that they tried to come up with their own set
They
of
could
toys.
do that, but there's Landed Before Time, which wasn't my thing, but there's all those other dinosaur things. There's the show Dinosaurs.
Oh,
it's
in the 90s, maybe that'll come up. But this
I
was
don't
the
know
80s.
anything about that.
The pencil box, you didn't seem to...
I don't care about that.
Okay, what about the Boo Buckets?
Yeah, that's awesome.
They were about, I would say, this big around and probably that deep, and it was to carry your candy in.
I mean, maybe it's not a McDonald's specific thing, but, bring back better buckets.
They need to make them bigger again. I like that they changed to have a pumpkin. Instead of having 3 different faces on a pumpkin, they added a witch and a ghost. But they were so popular one year that they had to. People demanded they bring them back the next year. So it became 2 years, and then they went away until
a very long time. Yeah.
But all right, so basically most of them.
I mean, most of that's cool stuff.
All right. Well, that's been the podcast this week, and as always, I don't do the show alone. It's a joint effort.